not have powerful attacks, but can be effective at an enemy down. Oh.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern, his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Ooh. That was a really cool intro. It does feel properly D&D, and I like that. I do enjoy stories. Awesome. Sex. I think I'm going to be male, just because I think it'll end badly if I don't. The place of men in society varies from culture to culture. Cultures like Adra and the Drywood. I'm going to have fun trying to pronounce all this nonsense. Place them at the forefront of military politics and heavy labour. Among the tribes of the Nasatak, men perform many homesteading organisation duties in Ir Glenfarth. Is that Irish? Oh, cool. Oh, awesome lore. A territory, for those wanting to know at home, Ir Glenfarth, Ir Glenfarth. I'm just trying to figure out how to pronounce it. It sounds a bit Irishy. Territory comprised of the far southeast of the Bale River. The Bale River? Bale River. Populated indigenously by a group of loosely affiliated tribes collectively known as the Glenfavans, and governed by a council of its 6 most powerful tribes. Glenfath is home to a large number of ruined Engwithan sites. Ooh, Engwithan, you say. Which Glenfafans hold. Glenfafans. They're all new words. I'm going to have fun with this. The ruins have been at the centre of a number of large-scale conflicts with Drywoden colonists whose settlements often encroach on Glenfafan territory. Oh, we're already getting imperialism going on, and who frequently seek to plunder the ruins for their relics. That's not fun. So, and Yaks. Oh, that's a fun word. How do you pronounce that? Iaxamatil? Men and women have more fluid social roles in all societies. There are exceptions to the rule, and men can be found in a variety of stations and professions. Oh, cool. Now, I wonder what he says for women. A woman's role in or is largely dependent on where she is from. In the Adra Empire, Valian republics, and the Direwwood. I should probably read this as well. A colonial nation founded by settlers from Adra Empire, following a series of conflicts with Adir. The territory becomes independent in 2672 AI and is now ruled by a duke. It's not a duke. I don't know. Who's elected by 7 earls. Wow, there's a lot of various words going on here, and they all seem to be from various different kind of, some Scandinavian, some Irish stuff going on here. Ooh, it's going to be fun. Celtic, I should say. Women occupy many domestic, educational, and organizational roles. They're the primary hunters, soldiers, and leaders of the tribes of the Nasatak. So if you're from Nasatakia, wherever that is, you're doing well as a woman. In Ir Glenfaf and Yaxtamil, women and men have more fluid social roles in all societies. There are exceptions. Blah 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 blah. So we are essentially a colonist coming from this place. I think from this place. We're heading down to here, and luckily the place we're going is actually quite fluid. So you can. Funny how that worked out. Next, okay, I'm going to be male. There we go. And now, what race shall I be? There's humans. Humans commonly called the folk. Well, I just say the folk. It's actually just folk. Our most common race in Direwwood, the Adra Empire, all of Valia, and the Valian Republic. So I'm guessing there's, this is the very old empire, and these what's shot out of it. I should read the things as well. A mercantile power and former colony of a larger... There we go. I guessed that all by myself. Old Valia, the republics lie to the south of Direwwood and Ir Glenfaf, and are ruled by a duke as well, elected by a Consuagili Asagia. We're going to have fun with this. A council of 14 dukes, including its 5 most prominent, the Duke Bells. Okay, so this is like Italy. This is like the merchant republics of Italy, which is kind of cool. And they have their own sort of system. This is like a big empire. I'm not sure how, if there's a real world comparison we can make. I don't know enough about them just yet. Though not as large as the towering Umua, Humans are known for their strength and willpower, so if I pick human, I get a bonus to resolve, which is resolve reflects character's internal drive, determination, fearlessness, and the emotional intensity they can project outwards. It can be useful for mental intimidation, leadership, and convincing performances. In combat, it helps characters maintain concentration and contributes to will and deflection defenses. Okay, so that's just your strength of character. Your might is physical and spiritual strength, brute force as well, the ability to channel powerful magic. That's an interesting way to do the mechanic. So how just strong you are isn't necessarily just your muscles, it's also your magical strength. That's cool. Alright, there's it. Whoa, avatars in the game. The mighty Uma are the largest of the Kif races. I've read that Kif is like sort of their way of saying like sentient, like you could say. Not even sentient, like civilized nations, and are commonly found in or near oceans. Though not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rawatai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength, and they just get +2 to might. So humans plus... I'm guessing everyone's going to get a plus... Oh, actually... Yeah, so at the end of this you come out +2, I'm going to guess. The dwarves, we all know dwarves. By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-travelled race in the world. They are commonly found in Deerwood, the Valian Republics, and almost any colonised land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. So dwarves have got around, which is kind of cool, because normally dwarves are kind of... they're very based in the mountains. But it's nice to see the dwarves sort of got their own little empire go. Well, even empire, you could say. They're getting around. They're a bit like the Irish. They get +2 to might, -1 to dexterity. What does dex do? Dexterity is an abstraction of character's hand-eye coordination and balance and overall grace. In interaction, it can be used for sleight of hand and fast reactions. In combat, it affects the character's action speed and all attacks, spells, and abilities, and contributes to the reflex strength. Okay, so it's pretty much how fast are you going to be doing shit. Constitution is, I'm going to guess, health. Yes, health and stamina. Cool. Although not use much interaction, there's sometimes check to withstand pain, and so you've got to do a check on physical pain and constitution where you're going. So it's +1 there. So your dwarves aren't as nimble, but they're hardy, which is not a shock. The elves are the dominant race in Irglanfaf, and the white that wends. That sounds cool, the white that wends. I'm guessing that's maybe the Arctic? I don't know. Are extremely common in Deerwood and Edra. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as their commonly isolationist nature. Oh, so they're very smart, they're very quick, but they like to sort of chill by themselves. But they're quite dominant in the area we're going towards. They get a +1 to dexterity and perception. Perception reflects a character's senses as well as their instinctive ability to pick up on details. In interaction, it can be used to catch on someone in a lie, to make an observant comment about their appearance, or to notice something happening in the background. In combat, it contributes to deflection and reflex defenses and grants... Okay, now we've got the Orlans. Oh my god, it's a bunny! Orlans are the smallest of the Kif races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized. Oh, that's not nice. Just because they have bunny ears. Almost notable for their large ears, two-toned skin, and hirsuti buddies. I know, I've heard that word before, I just can't remember what it means. Orlans are commonly found in Irglanfaf, the Exardinapla plains, and part of Deerwood. Direwood? Direwood. Yeah, Direwood. They are known for their mental intensity and quickness. Oh, so they've got a +1 to resolve. So they're quite determined. They're not as strong, but they're very observant, which is kind of cool. Now these are the race I'm actually quite interested in. The godlike. Oh. The godlike are children of the Kif civilized. Yes, I was right. Yeah, the civilized races who've been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. Hats. These aspects may take many forms and come with mystical powers. I've heard head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear, as it is near impossible to find anything that fits. So if you pick godlike, you're not wearing a hat. It is because of their unusual nature and inability to reproduce. Godlike are also viewed with fear and wonder. You get +1 to dex, so you're quite an intellect. Ooh. I do like the sound of this. I like the sound of godlike because I am Madgod. I'm actually trying to be a bit more professional and setting like timers for my videos. I've now realised how this was a bad idea for this video because so I'm just going to reset that because this is the character creation. So there are 4 kinds of godlikes we can be. We can be deaf godlikes. Deaf godlike are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growth cover their eyes and in some cases entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. The growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque from the outside. hiding their features. So, although the godlike can see through this weird stuff, if you're out like over here, this just feels solid. Okay, that's cool. Deaf godlike are commonly killed at birth because many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom. Lovely. And if you take this subrace, you get Death's Usher. When Death's godlike attack an enemy with 25% or less endurance, which is short-term survivability. Okay, so pretty much when you got an enemy almost down, you're going to just start beating the shit out of them, which is, you go for the kill. Makes sense. The fire god. Oh my god, that looks sweet. Except, you're kind of the devil. The bodies of the fire god often resemble hot metal, burnt wood or stone, with harmless flames that erupt from the cracks in their skin. Fire godlikes are the subject of both reverence and fear in the Dead Fire Archipelago. That's a cool place, the Dead Fire Archipelago. I want to go there. Many locals believe they have the power to awaken volcanoes, or that killing one will cause a volcano to awaken, so pretty much leave them the fuck alone. In the Deerwood, fire godlike are often seen as a sign of the blessing of Magran. Ooh, god lore! Goddess of war and fire. Magran, goddess of war, fire and transformation, purification, consumption and trials. Wow, she's racked up a good number of things. Patron goddess of the Deerwood, so she's actually pretty badass in the place we're going. Thought to have, well, know where we're coming from. Thought to have blessed the Godhammer bomb that destroyed Widewen. The Godhammer bomb sounds fucking sweet! And destroyed Widewen and possibly Aethys. That's lore we don't know yet. And if you pick Fire Godlike, you get Battle Forged. When reduced below 50% endurance, Fire Godlike low like metal in a forge, gaining damage reduction and doing a smaller Ooh! So, if you're a melee, like if you go melee based, like this guy currently is, and you get knocked below 50% health, I'm getting the kind of health, yeah. So, endurance is your short-term health. I think there's also like a health system. So endurance is, yeah, you get knocked down if your endurance goes to 0, and then you have life kind of thing. So the more you can get knocked down several times. If you do get knocked down several times, you might die. That's pretty much it. But once these guys get knocked below 50%, they sort of light up, and it's so they lower the damage they take, and they inflict fire damage, which is awesome. I'm a unicorn! Moon godlike are the most tolerated of the godlike, with their skin tone and large moon-like growth. Maybe strange to some, their appearance is generally considered more palpable by other kith. Sailors have many beliefs about moon godlike and their propensity to bring luck, though there are little agreement as to what kind of luck they tend to bring. Oh, that's cool. So I'm guessing like the Umamanana, like the Avatar folk, really like these folk, because they're like, maybe could bring good luck at sailing. And if you do take Moon Godlike, you get Silver Tide. Every encounter when reduced below 75%, 50% and 25% endurance, Moon Godlike generate waves of healing moonlight that restore endurance to themselves and their ally. So if you're going Moonlight, you're kind of going support. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily entirely support, maybe as a rogue, because you're going to be in battle, but if you take that damage, suddenly you're healing, and you're kind of... I could see that build working quite interestingly. A Nature Godlike... That's weird. Nature Godlike appear to be a fusion of human and animal features, often covered by plants, moss, or fungi, so they're orcs. This has led to a common stigma that they are diseased. Oh, and many are killed at birth because of... That's not cool. Many druidic orders have a keen interest in Nature Godlike, because of their general curiosity about how the souls occupy animals, plants and stones. And if you do take Nature Godlike, you get the Wellspring of Life, grants a bonus to might, constitution and dexterity when endurance is below 50%. So once you get knocked down half, all these stats get a bump, which is pretty cool. So you suddenly when your health gets down to 50%, you get a bump in health, you become faster and you punch harder, which is cool. So I don't really want to be Moon Godlike, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't want to be a unicorn. I'm not really keen on Nature's Godlike because it's a tree. It's sort of between these two. I like fire. I'm liking the fire. It's just kind of bright. It's shiny, and it looks kind of cool. I've seen Period Flax and Lewis from the Yogscast playing as Death Godlike. I don't really know. I kind of like fire. I can change it, but before we get to the end, we can change this, so we can come back and switch it. Let's see what the next option is, though. Oh, so I can be any one of these. Shit, I should have really paid more attention. I think I'm going to go human. Just to it's pretty generic in that kind of sense. But my stats should be pretty badass, I think. Next. There we go. So, oh, class. So we got a ton of classes we can actually go for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 11 classes, which is pretty awesome, actually. So we'll start from the top. Barbarians. Ooh, fucking hell, that looks sweet. Look at the skin. That's why I've gone Fire Gold. Like, that looks badass. Brutes, madmen, berserkers. Though city-dwelling people often use the term barbarian with a dose of disrespect. These rural warriors are disrespected by their communities for their ferocity and fearsome presence on the battlefield. Barbarians have a special, almost religious role in some cultures, but in many places the undisciplined, fearless style of the barbarian is simply how warriors conduct themselves. I see. Starting ability, you can start off with Carnage, which sounds pretty awesome. I'm just going to take a quick drink because there's a lot more talking and just reading. I have some nice orange juice. Num num num. When barbarians hit with melee attacks, they automatically make reduced damage attacks to all of their enemies within a short distance of the target. I'm going to hit you so hard, it'll hurt your mates. You get +2 to athletics, survival, which I'm guessing... Oh, cool. Athletics. I may not try to read everything, but we will go through stuff as we play the game. Very high endurance. I like that they give me this just to say that you may not know what's going on. This is good. Average. You're not trying to deflect shit. You're just going in to beat them senses. But you have the you're a tank. What is a cipher though? A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach. Ciphers were once called Brisalgwin by the Glanfafans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally or an enemy's essence as the focus of their magic. Though most ciphers are still found at Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Starting ability, ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effect. These powers cause focus, which ciphers build through their use of their soul whip. That sounds awesome! Oh my god! You get +1 to stealth, +1 to lore. Lore's just miscellaneous knowledge. That sounds cool. And mechanics. Oh. Cool. So mechanics is, do you need to do something kind of technical? Yeah. Very low endurance, low health, high average accuracy, but high deflection. Other area effect is defined by character perception resolve, but is influenced by shields, certain weapons. Okay, so I'm not going to be if I go for this guy, he won't be massively tanky. He won't have a lot of health and endurance. His accuracy is okay, but I will dodge a lot, and I will have some cool abilities to back that up. The fighters are the front line disciplined of the Eastern Reach. They are more commonly found in cultures with an organised martial structure. Fighters can be basic pretty guys. Constant recovery. Fighters occasionally regenerate endurance at a modest rate during combat. Oh, cool. So, passive heal. Athletics, lore, and survival +1. High level endurance. High level of health. Very high. Wow. That's a lot of highs. But you don't get access to any of her, like, magic abilities, I'm going to guess. I see. Paladins. Paladins are martial zealots devoted to a god, ruler. I look like a god. I don't need another one. I realise there's a lot of reading. So starting ability for Paladin. We all know what a Paladin is. Faith and conviction. Paladins have an inherent bonus to all of their defences. Over the course of the game, the value of this bonus may shift based on reputation. The Paladin gains relative to the behaviours of the perk by his order. Okay. So, very high endurance, well, +2 to athletics, +1 to lore, high health, average accuracy, and very high deflection. So, that's an interesting build. Fighter sounds really, like, the best right now. I don't know. It's very high, I'm guessing. This is just more high. No, it's 2. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Ranger, I believe Arclight actually played as a Ranger in his game. So, they are essentially Aragorn. You're going to shoot bows. You get an animal companion. So yeah, if you have one of these, Oh, that's cool. So you have one of these, you get an animal companion. It doesn't do much damage, but it can tank for you, so it can like pin people down, and they'll engage those so you can shoot them from afar. Very low endurance, so kind of squishy. High health, very high accuracy, and high deflection. Okay. The wizard is a wizard. You get a bunch of spells, wizard of access. Okay. +2 lore, +1 mechanics. Okay. Endurance, health. Very low across the board, but you get spells. A chanter. In every culture across Aura, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. They're hollowed phrases stirring the collective memories of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organised groups of storytellers and researchers, but in most parts of the world, they are a time-honoured part of local folk traditions. Okay. All chanters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects and can help build a chanter's power until they can use an invocation. Powerful magical effects that chanters can create after they've spoken the required number of phrases through their chants. +2 lore, +1 mechanics. Endurance is low, health is low, accuracy is average, and deflection is very high. Interesting. So it's a kind of, you'll be speaking throughout, and once you get to a certain, so late, like mid to late game, you're going to start popping stuff off. I see. The druid with a mushroom. Oh no, just a weird shield. Animistic heart druids tap into the spiritual power that flows through the simple living things of Aor, plants and animals, and sometimes even living stone. While not necessarily religious, druids do have a reverence for the natural world and a keen interest in understanding its mysteries. In most cultures, druids are understood as a sort of primal magician, but among the Glenfathins, Nasaki, and many rural cultures, they have a high position of influence and authority. They can spirit shift into something else, and they have access to spells, +1 lore, +2 survival, very low endurance, very low health, very low accuracy, but high deflection. The monk, with big shoulders, let's just so much talking, goddamn. Transcendence. Many monks have no weapon equipped. Their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continuing as they gain level, so they just punch you. As monks are damaged, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monks' abilities. +1 stealth, +1 athletics, +1 survival, high endurance, high health, high accuracy, and high deflection. But you're not meant to use weapons. You're actually meant to take hits. Weird. I'm not going to play monk, definitely. Priests are priests. Holy Radiance, heals, spells, +1 athletics, +2 to lore, low endurance, low health, low accuracy, low deflection. Wow. You're not meant to be fighting if you're that guy. Rogues are the vicious killers. They're rogues. Sneak attack, +1 stealth, +2 mechanics. Sneak attacks can also do a bunch of other stuff. Low endurance, low health, very high accuracy, very low deflection. I like the idea of a cipher. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm liking that idea. That sounds kind of cool. Soul Whip. So I'm kind of curious about that because it's not something I've ever really seen before. So next, okay, ciphers can directly target allies. Okay, through their Soul Whip. I can pick 2 level 1 abilities. Let's see what we got. The Antipathetic Field creates a toxic physical manifestation of mutual antipathy between the cipher and the enemy target. Anyone caught in the path between these two suffers. So I make a connection, and anyone who gets caught in that takes corrosive damage. That requires focus. User. I have no idea what any of that means. Let's see what else we got. Eye Strike. Deactivate that. So I can only pick 2 of these. What is Eye Strike? Shocks an enemy's visual receptors, dazing and blinding them, as well as blinding nearby targets. A blind, so they get blinded for 10 seconds, can't do shit. What does Mind Wave do? Targets become the object of a concussive blast of psychic energy, suffering raw damage from the trauma. Characters in the conical area behind the target, failing a forge check, are knocked prone from the blast. So it's a blast, but it's there is like a cone of effect, so it could actually hurt other folk. Briefly transforms the outer shell of an allied soul into energy, releasing an electrical burst around them. Characters standing in the air around the target takes shock damage. So if you have a tank and he's surrounded, hit them with this and you'll blast the fuckers. Tenuous grasp assails the target's grasping realm, frightening and confusing them. Interesting. And Whisper of Treason imparts a bedeviling secret to an enemy that causes its allegiance to bend, charming them for the duration. Interesting. So you can go, hey, you want to work for me now, right? Yeah, I know you do. So I like the Whisper of Treason, because in a group of enemies you just go, work for me, and that would be kind of cool. Let's see. It's a very fast spell, which is cool. I'm liking Mind Wave. That's an aggressive one, and I've got that for groups. So in a group, use that. For an enemy, use that, and that should be pretty cool. I think. I could be wrong. I have 15 points. Intellect. I don't know what the stars mean. Highly recommended for Cypher. Oh, I see. Recommended for Cypher. That's an interesting way. So they're just saying, hey, just to let you know, Cyphers really need intellect because it helps. I'm already on 11 because I'm godlike. I have 15 points. So what I really should do is bump up my intellect pretty high. My might as well. Get that to 15, and my dexterity as well. So that's how, that should, in theory, be pretty good. That's what I should be. That's what I should be pumping, I think. I could bump these down actually, one, and just bump up my Constitution slightly, and my Resolve slightly, just because I don't want to go completely without health and stuff. So I've got a bit more health, which will just help a little bit. Next. I guess one of those is my Soul Whip. Cause of the Cypher's... This is the ability to mention. Cause of the Cypher's weapons to generate a field of parasitic energy that lashes out at the target, increasing damage inflicted and... Cool! Ah, so my culture. Awesome. Am I from the Aedra? Is currently the largest and most powerful force in this part of the world. It is centered around the equator and has a tropical climate. Though the Empire has colonies in numerous areas around the world, Greater Aedra... Adir? Maybe that's how it is? Adir? No, that makes sense. Adir. And its heart houses the majority of its human and elven nations. Okay. Resolve +1 if you go there. Deadfire Archipelago, which consisting of the nations of the Naskiti, dozens of Umasen ones, and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands that stretch along the sovereign sea of Deadfire. Deadfire is home to boreal dwarfs and tons of people. Is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtual impossible. You get a +1 on dexterity if you go there. The plains that we'll never pronounce, located northeast of Yuglanfath, the Zamatil plains are large expanses of fertile savannas that are extremely farmed by human and Orlan residents. The Zamatil culture is one of the oldest in the world, though one of the least imperialistic, having spread out little over the past 1,000 years. +1 to resolve. Old Valia. Once the crown jewel of the sovereign seas, Old Valley is now crumbled remnants of empire of warring merchant nations. Counting many humans and dwarves among the ranks, the Old Valian countries are still forces to be reckoned with and are proud of their rich cultural heritage. Interesting. The Ruatari, dominated by the Numa nation of the Ruatari. The Gulf itself is the host to a number of nations, most of them Uma, Orlan and Dwarven. Though these countries are relatively young, they are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East, mainly probably because these guys like ships. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them, though the entire course is often pummeled by violent storms. +1 on Constitution there. The Living Lands. The Living Lands is a mountainous region of the large northern island, renowned for its diversity of plant and animal life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystem vary dramatically from valley to valley. The Living Lands are home to an assortment of races in a variety of colonial and independent settlements. +1 on Might. And the White That Wends, a large cracked southern expanse of polar ice. That sounds awesome. The White That Wends is home to the Pale Elves and small colonies of daring explorers, outcasts and adventurers. While virtually no plant life grows in the White, it is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. Right, so absolutely none of... Old Valia is the only one that gives me a bump to intellect, which is what I need. I kind of like the sound of this one though. And I like the fact it's giving me 2 weapons. Though they have as well, though. Do I want to be a fire guy from the snowy place? I think I'll go Old Valley. It gives me the boost to intellect which I need. That's cool. So next. Oh my god, they give me a background. Am I an aristocrat? I've lived my life amongst the nobility. Lavish meals, conference, pepper talk of pedigree and bloodlines. Am I +2 to lore? Well, you're part of a group that found a fledgling colony just now. Survival. Am I a drifter? Stealth and survival. A labourer. Your life is study your craft. Merchant. You trade good. Lore mechanics. Artist. Lore. Dissident. You've made a name for yourself as a troublemaker, disrespect for authority, and lack of care regarding the rules of recurrent themes in your life. Am I a hunter? You live for the thrill of the chase, whether for glory or for sustenance. You have made your life taking lives of the wild creatures. Okay. Mercenary. Blade in battle is your way of life. You solve your problems by pulling out your weapon and applying force. Athletics and lore. Am I a slave? You've never known freedom. Shackled in chains of bound to existence, and someone's told you what to do your entire life. I'm not really fond of that one, if I'm completely honest. 2+ lore. I think lore would be quite handy. Having that kind of just general knowledge would be quite handy. I'm not entirely sure, ladies and gentlemen. You've never known freedom. I don't want to be a slave. No, I don't want. I'm not going to be that mean to myself. I'm thinking aristocrat, but I feel a bit kind of posh. I'm an old Valian. I feel really British then. Actually, yes. Crumbling empire, made of a few nations, and I know all about it. Apparently because I got lore. So I'm going to be an aristocrat. There we go. My appearance. Okay, primer. Can I change the colour of my flames? No. Damn, I thought that would be cool. I'm not really sure what I'm doing right now. I'm just picking random colours. There we go. That looks nice, yeah. Head appearance. Oh, I can change my head. Different heads. Cool. I look like Thundercat. I think I'm going to go for this one. Yeah, I think I like 1 best. I don't like 3. 3 looks kind of stupid. But I like 1. I'm essentially the devil. There we go. I don't get facial hair and I don't get hair because I'm on fire. That's not... There we go. Perfect. I am kind of ginger. I accept that, but sure. Oh, voices. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Now I am the leader of the group.
Steady does it. Yes?
Leading the way.
My eyes are peeled.
Oh?
I shall lead us. They won't see me coming.
I like that. I'm gruff. I'm ready. I'm a godlike. I can't have kids. It's kind of burning me up inside. Do you see what I did there, ladies and gentlemen? And I will, of course, be the only name that I can possibly be. I am Madgod. There we go. Madgod the level 1 cipher. And we have made our character, ladies and gentlemen. It has taken a while, but we have done it. It has been completed. Aren't you proud of us, ladies and gentlemen? We have created Madgod. 14 might, 11 constitution, 14 dex, 10 perception, 18 int, and 11 resolve. I'm male, fire godlike, cipher, old aristocrat, old Valian aristocrat. That appearance, that voice, it's good to go. We are ready, ladies. We are ready to do this. Are you ready? I'm ready. Yeah! But we'll have to wait till next time. So thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section below if you played Pillars of Eternity and what character you started off with. What was your first role where you just didn't know what was going on, just pick buttons? I'm looking forward to hearing what you did, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.